Jackson Podcast.
You know, I've been wondering since 2021 what made Antonio Brown walk off the field. And finally, somebody asked him the question. You know, what makes a player and a person want to play the villain role? What makes a person just want to be the ops, the villain? What did they go through? What was they traumatized by? You know, I felt like Antonio Brown, if he could have played just a little bit longer, he could have been on the Mount Rushmore. He was a once in a lifetime talent, and he will never get the credit that he deserves. But before we get into the conversation, I want to say salute to Ryan Clark and the Pivot Podcast. They've been having some great discussions on their channel lately. Salute to Antonio Brown for launching his podcast. Also, I got a clip of him and Charleston White talking about being villains. Also, I'm gonna play halfway through this. But let me be quiet, man, and get to the clip so we can further discuss this in the conversation.
Do you ever look at the way it ended and think to yourself, I would have changed some things?
Nah, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I walked off, I did the right things for myself. Anytime you're playing along a team and you know what it's like, you guys been to the end of your career when it's like, the team got you there, but they're not really there. And every good thing gonna come to an end. And I don't have no regrets of how it ended. You know, I just glad I walked off with my health. The whole thing of being a football player is to not limp off the field when you're done. To be able to walk off with full strength. And that's always been my goal. Get the most out the game. You know, I put a lot of energy, effort, time in the game, and I don't feel like I took any shortcuts. I had a goal, a vision, and I did it. You see me come to work as a 6th-round player, fight for my spot. They put so many guys in front of me of the trauma of just always believing in myself and knowing it's gonna work out. So to me, it's all about, and that's why I started CTSPN, because it's no platform that's showing people, how do I overcome this adversity? How do I deal with if they're not trying to get me the ball and I'm trying to be great and my job is to want the ball? How do you deal with they not dropping you in zone coverage when you know they running these plays and you gotta, how do you handle that? No one's addressing the seriousness of being a football player and the traumas we face, you know what I'm saying? Being a player, you can't get disability insurance because the NFL won't allow black guys to get insurance if you not showing them that you just train wreck. You know what I'm saying? How do you handle being able to transition? Like, how do you transition? Like, how you guys get to this point? What adversity?
Before they answer Antonio Brown's question, I want to say that I can't wait to see his platform evolve because nobody is talking about the traumas. Nobody is talking about what NFL players have to deal with. Majority people just want to talk about the success and the game and all of that, but nobody's talking about the injuries, having to play with pain. That's something that really interests me because I know those boys be hurt, man. That's why it's only a game every 7 days. I know them boys be hurt and they still have to go out there and play. And he talked about leaving the game and walking off healthy. I don't know if all those things was running through his mind when he walked off the field and ended his career. But you know, throughout his career, he made $80 million. If I felt as if I was being snubbed or if I felt as if something was wrong, a lot of people ridicule him and talk crazy about his decision making of what he did during his time in the NFL. But if he's happy with it and he's willing to talk about it, I'm willing to listen to it. Let's get to it.
You face on your other show that, you know what I mean? Let's address what the real experience of what people go through, not what happened in moments, because different moments of people's lives could deteriorate how they look at their lives. And that's the purpose of CTSPN, not letting moments affect your overview of your life. And as a football player, we look at people for moments. Oh, this moment AB walked out the field. This moment he scored. And this moment, you know, life is going to be compelled of a lot of moments. But what's the purpose of these moments? The purpose of those moments was a kid from Liberty City that's made opportunity of greatness to go chase the opportunity of being great and being able to deal with the adversity. You know what I mean? They drafted Emmanuel Sanders, the players before me. Right. And when I was a rookie, I mean, the guy got hurt. I took the kick return back first play. Then the next time they suspend me for coming late. Remember RC? Now I'm like, yo, now I suspended. They don't let me play 6 games. So how you handle that adversity? How do you tell your story? You know?
But what's the moment of you running off the goddamn field with your shirt off,
Yeah,
acting crazy?
I am crazy.
But what? No, I'm gonna ask you that question too. But you talking about moments,
listen,
the moments of you
yeah.
running off with your shirt half naked, running off the field, bro. Like,
Yeah,
that's not football.
I know, but that's me. That's like my moment in football. We all got our own relationship with the game. I can't change your relationship to the game, how your end. You know, everybody want a happy ending. I would like a happy ending right now, but nobody's gonna give me a.
You better not look over here.
I know you a honey dog. You little honey dog. He look right at you too.
Don't look over here.
I know
I don't
you.
give a damn how goddamn many diamonds you got on your finger.
Nah, but we all want a happy end to our career, and that's how athletes what we got to come to realization. Sometimes we're not even in control of how our careers end.
But you were in control of that, though, AB. You were in control of how that day ended.
No matter if anyone, no one else understand it, I did what was best for me. You know what I mean? That's the simple fact of what it is. If you have a trauma, that's what my therapist tell me. If I have a trauma or trigger, I'm gonna walk away. I didn't do nothing wrong. I took off my equipment and took off my shirt, waved to the fans of the people that love me and walked.
You know, from experience in life, I kind of understand this ideology. I'm gonna try to correlate something, but I think that it has no type of connection. You know, I was successful as a street hustler as a young boy. I was at the peak when I stopped. But something was just tapping me on my shoulder telling me to stop. A lot of brothers wouldn't have stopped. Even though I'm talking about something that was illegal and he's talking about something that's illegal. I mean, that is legal. It's just that I was at the peak of the hustle and I stopped. And people may have thought that I was crazy. But you know, that's what was best for me. You know, he was tired of the game. He may have been sore, hurting that day, and it could have been the end. Sometimes you feel like, you know, in life, don't be scared. Oh, this is great. This is great what I'm about to tell y'all. Don't be scared to be misunderstood. You know, you're gonna have moments in your life that people gonna judge you by those moments for the rest of your life. But those was just moments of your life. They don't know what you've dealt with throughout your life. So don't be afraid to be misunderstood. Because you know, everybody wanna be accepted. Everybody wanna be a part of something that is bigger than them. Everybody wanna be attached to a group or organization, a crew or something that they feel as if it's bigger than them. But you got to be happy with yourself at the end of the day. The NFL might be bigger than you, but you got to be focused on you and what makes you happy. Play the clip.
The way. That's what my therapist advised me to do when I'm, you know what I mean? I get therapy. CTSPN is real. We got to be able to talk to somebody unattached that help us with our spirit. So when I'm dealing with a lot of traumas that you guys might not understand, you know, everybody in the world, they just see the stuff that happened, the big viral moment. You know what I mean? They just focus right here, but it's a lot of things that lead up to people traumas that make them be in that position. And Ryan Clark know my relationship with Bruce Arians. How many years you know Bruce Arians to hold me back?
It was a while.
Ben Roethlisberger, the only reason I even starting for the Steelers. Literally, he had to go tell Bruce Arians, like, yo, I need AB at the X. Like, let me have him run these plays. So you guys don't understand, like, you know what I'm saying, when something happened, what was the build-up moment? What was the build-up moment? What was it like when Ryan Clark was hurt and doctors coming to see him and half his arm don't work, but nobody know? What was the trauma, RC? Yeah. Not then, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? People want to focus on, yo, when it happened. No, what happened in the midst of that to cause that? And you know what I mean? We gotta not take stuff so serious.
I think that
the
build-up moment is, you know, the greatness that we all saw. You know what I'm saying, AB? Like, for example, you had a childhood hero.
Yeah.
And what happens if that hero lets you down? Or you find out that he's not perfect? You'll be sad.
Deion Sanders is, listen, we all football players and the fans look at us like we're gods.
Yeah.
You don't supposed to get hurt. AB supposed to be running for 20,000 yards. He was right on the brink of Jerry Rice. But that's just people thinking that we just some godly beings. Like, yo, we humans. If I had unlimited health, of course I'd run up down the field and be the great. You know what I mean? But that's not how it is. We're humans. You know what I mean? We are made of a lots of moments. Even from you as a kid, you've been through stuff when you was a
I
kid that
think
you carry.
AB, because I'm always keep it 1,000 with you.
Yeah.
Because of how great you were, in a lot of sense, you let a lot of people down. And it's it's not on you.
That's what I was just talking about. You let a lot of people down. I was just talking about that. You can't be focused on the people's perspective of you. You have to worry about your health and your greatness. I understand what my boy talking about. Is that Fred Taylor? Couldn't stand that nigga in Florida, boy. But he the truth though. I ain't saying I can't stand you, big dog, because I don't like you, but I just couldn't stand you at Florida because you was beating my Tennessee niggas. But at the end of the day, you can't work. You can't. I've let a lot of people down. I've said I was gonna be there for a few people, but what I supposed to did for them wasn't what was in the best interest of me. I know I'm supposed to be in there, big dog. I'm sorry. But that's what you was dealing with at the moment. That wasn't in the best interest of me. So if I let you down, I apologize. But sometimes in life, you gotta let people down.
Now I'm gonna say like I would
Because of
ask you like how to.
expectations.
Yeah,
And
but
I
I
probably
let him
had at
down.
some point, right? But it goes
Yeah.
from that to disbelief to concern. And I think that's where we are now. Like, you have a lot of people that love you and they're
Yeah.
concerned about you and they want to see you excel
I don't think
in
they're
life.
concerned. I am excelling. I just feel like people don't understand. It's always when people don't understand you crazy. Or you not from where I'm from, so you don't get the understanding. Yo, I'm from Liberty City, bro. My mom, I caught a jitney to go play football or go to school when I was 6 years
It's a
old.
grind, yeah.
So I raised myself. You know what I mean? I willed myself in this position. We play football to change our lives. You know what I mean? To keep our health. We don't play football to just keep entertaining people, to walk off the field and they're like, oh, how did I let somebody down? I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? I had a great career. You know what I mean? I feel like, of course, things may not go the way other people want, or the people may not think that I may have not done things the way they would have done it, but that's why they're not me. It's okay to not understand AB. It's okay to
That's a
not,
fact.
you know what I mean? It's okay to not understand why I make those moves. But sometimes it takes time for people to understand. I don't want you guys to, if you don't understand now, then keep, you know what I mean? Keep tuned. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people didn't understand 6th-round pick. I mean, a lot of people thought I was crazy. RC, 6th-round pick, this guy always run to the end zone, right, RC?
Yeah.
Like, bro,
We said
why
the
he
first-
keep
the
finishing
first
to
practice.
right? Why he keep running to the end zone? But that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy that people may not understand till they understand. Like, nah, bro, really.
I think this was a great conversation because, you know, people are who they are. And we need to stop judging people for who they are. We need to stop uh, embracing counsel culture and counseling people because of their thoughts and just be aware of what's being said. Before I get off of here, I wanna say something that I disagree with because I agree with a lot of things he said, and I kind of understand AB because I'm an outcast. I've been outcasted where I'm from and by the people who I love. I've been outcasted, man. But what's interesting about this is that he spoke about I'm from Liberty City. People don't understand me. They don't understand the adversity I face because of where I'm from. I hear a lot of grown men using where I'm from as an excuse. It comes to a point in your life to where you from can't be an excuse no more. It can't be something that you hold on to. Like, I'm from the inner city. I'm from the projects and stuff, but I hold myself accountable and I had to move forward. You know, I had to move forward from where I'm from. Where I'm from can't hold me back, man. Where I'm from is just where I'm from. But I am who I am. And I gotta continue to move forward. You know, AB launched this podcast this week. Dope discussions. He had Charleston White on there. You know, I talked about Charleston White twice this weekend. This is the second time. And Charleston White said something about the black community. He said something that kind of correlates with AB about being misunderstood because Charleston White is a misunderstood individual all the time. And I just want to play this clip for y'all.
So yeah, nah, nigga, I come to play the villain because this one thing I learned about black people. They turn on everything they love. You can list of every great celebrity, and I can tell you black people once loved them and turned on them. You can go from James Brown, when he started falling and went on the high-speed chase and shooting the gun out the window, and he was taking the mug shot with his hair all over here, black people turned on him. Michael Jackson, they turned on Michael Jackson. They turned on Whitney Houston. They turned on Bobby Brown. They turned on R. Kelly. They turned on P. Diddy. Nigga, I can go down a list of everybody they turned on. They turned on DMX. They used to laugh at him when they seen him at the gas station and he wasn't on stage performing no more. When he had to come be Earl Simmons, they laughed at him. When he was struggling with his addiction, they were laughing at him. So nigga, I said, okay, get him to hate you. Because there's a thin line between love and hate. I just want to get them to the line. I don't care if they hate me or love me. They gonna keep watching me. No matter either or hate or love, they gonna keep watching. So nigga, that's my formula.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think
He didn't mention Malcolm X. You know, the Nation of Islam started calling Malcolm X a snitch and all type of things, and they had him done down. Um, a lot of things were said about him. Minister Louis Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad said that some things about him. If you're a follower of that, you know, in life, people gonna trade on you eventually. You just got to prepare yourself for it. Being the villain, I don't want to say outlandish things to be the villain, but at the end of the day, I'm an individual, and I support people having their own thoughts, the freedom to think. You know, if you don't agree with me, I don't care if you agree with me. We need to have a conversation for the awareness. And I appreciated, you know what I mean, this clip of Antonio Brown explaining why he left the field. I appreciate his new podcast, even though it's funny, CTESPN. And just salute to these brothers, man. Sports is bigger than just a sport. It's a healing process because these brothers come from impoverished situations and become multimillionaires all of a sudden. And they help families. They employ hundreds of people. It's just interesting. Thank y'all for tuning in to my show, man. I'll be back soon. Peace, love, plenty abundance. Make sure you go get you some money and I'm gone.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.